admits to me she threw a bottle. She did first. And she admitted also that she hit him first. She actually hit him in the face. Christy, I'll be honest with you, she knows exactly what she's doing. But she does. She's not a fool.
Amber Heard has been manipulating her fans to believe her lies for quite a while now, and it is crystal clear. In January 2020, some call recordings between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were released to the public that showed that it was actually Amber who was physically abusing Johnny Depp. Yeah, that it was Johnny and Amber arguing if Amber had actually hit her or not, and it seemed pretty clear that she had, but she was arguing how hard or aggressive it was. I mean, this woman has had cases worth billions of dollars opened against Johnny Depp for enduring physical abuse, but this seems to be a sick reality of that woman. How Amber Heard made her fans believe her lies. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were on a trip from Honolulu, USA to Brisbane, Australia in 2015. That doesn't sound so bad, does it? It actually sounds like a fun little trip, but as we all know by now that Amber is known to pull off a great facade in front of the public, and she did the same in 2015. Amber Heard was quite stubborn in talking two of her Yorkshire Terriers, Boo and Pistol, along with her. Unfortunately, Australia is pretty strict with their animal policies and do conduct and strict check at the borders and during immigration. If so, how were they able to take the dogs? Amber Heard is quite cheeky when it comes to escaping the law. She managed to take her dogs and enter the country when she was caught leading Amber to face the court. Well, at that time, we all believe her to be innocent and that she hadn't known about these rules, as she has stated, and all was forgiven. But only after her divorce and lawsuit did the Australian government decide to look into this case yet again. The case currently holds a status of ongoing, and we are pretty sure that this is going to cause her a lot of trouble holistically. So what do these documents contain? In simple words, the documents contain information stating that everything she stated back in 2015 are complete lies. That is not a shocker for us at this point, but yes, that is the truth of what the documents contain. Quick recap from the past. What did Amber defend herself when she was called onto the pedestal to plead her case? Amber stated that she did not know that such a law existed in Australia. She stated that it was all a misunderstanding and that she wasn't aware that it would cost her a lot. In fact, shortly after all those events happened, she and Depp put up their video showcasing them in a sorry state, being extremely apologetic about what they did and how much they love and respect Australia. Want to know something funny about this? Amber stated to have forgotten to claim her dogs or whatever set of lies she was rapping at that point, but guess what? She didn't forget to claim. Now, who is Kate James and Kevin Murphy? Kate James was Amber Heard's personal assistant, and she worked for Amber Heard for 3 years from March 2012 to February 2015. Kevin Murphy, on the other hand, was someone who worked for Depp for almost 8 years and was caught into this huge mess unknowingly. As someone famous once said, it is the people who try to do good who get into trouble, while the guilty always seem to have it easier. This is partially true, but karma is real, and it truly is served cold to the people who deserve it. Kevin knew about the issues that would arise if the dogs were taken without proper documentation. He even spoke to Amber about it on call and even in person, stating that it was a bad idea. But being the stubborn individual she is, refused to take heed to his advice and took things into her own hand. Kevin rejected her offer, but then was verbally threatened by Amber, due to which he succumbed under pressure to do so. Later on, after she divorced Depp, he tried to retract his claim as he no longer worked for them and wanted to turn his wrongs into right, as the guilt was killing him. Kevin also stated that he had told Amber to proceed in taking her dogs in the right way by filling out the paperwork and only then taking her dogs overseas. But due to this entailing a 10-day quarantine, which she wasn't patient enough to endure, she chose to take the shortcut, which came to bite her back. The worst-case scenario involves her facing jail time that can be for a minimum of 5 years to a maximum of 15 years. Now that is a lot, especially if that was for just being stubborn over taking your dogs with you. How old are you, Amber? 5? To make the situation messier, Aquaman 2 is also going to be a shot there, which means Amber Heard could lose her role as Mira to this mistake of hers that she forgot to cover up. "Dear Amber, you cannot hide the skeleton in the closet forever, but if she does get kicked out of Aquaman 2 for this." The outlet is relying on roughly 12 of Heard's abuse allegations against her former husband to back up its claims. Early in the trial, Depp and his team painted Heard as the abuser in their relationship and shared accounts of her alleged aggressive behavior. Depp told a story about the time she hit him in the face with a haymaker punch, and there were stories of him locking himself in the bathroom to escape her. His team also revealed that Heard was responsible for severing his finger. On July 20, Heard testified that Depp has an alter ego he called the Monster. According to BBC, she said he would blame all his actions to a self-created third party instead of himself, which she often called the Monster. Heard accused her ex of punching, slapping, choking, kneeling on her back, and head-butting her, and stated she thought he would kill her multiple times. "Some accidents were so severe that I was afraid he was going to kill me, either intentionally or just by losing control and going too far," she said. She told the court that during a 2015 trip to Australia, she suffered emotional and physical abuse for 3 days straight. "It is the worst thing I have ever been through. I was left with an injured lip and nose and cuts on my arms." When it was her turn to be questioned by the opposing side, Heard had to listen to deposition recordings. She told Depp's lawyers, Eleanor Laws, that she was never violent toward him. When Laws played a recording of Heard admitting she'd hit and thrown pots and pans at Depp, she said she only did it to get away from him. Per Daily Mail, Heard also implied Los Angeles police lied when they stated she wasn't injured and there was no property damage during an alleged accident she and her friends reported in May 2016. Fans homed in on Heard's testimony, saying she backpedaled on several of her statements. On Twitter, there is a thread with a transcript of her testimony, and some people are scanning it for lies.
Amber, I lost a finger, man. Come on. I had a mineral can, a jar of can of mineral spirits thrown at my nose.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and
yes.
It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
You believe you abused me physically?
Do I physically believe? Do I believe I physically abused you?
Yes.
Do you know I'm 115? Well, not anymore, but I was 115 pounds. I'm a 115-pound woman, and I have the capacity to abuse.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
Have I ever been able to knock you off of your feet?
You started.
Off your balance?
You started these things.
You are going to get up on the stand, Johnny, and say she started it? Really?